$70,000 a year can still feel stuck? Not broke, not struggling in the obvious sense, but also not moving forward. No real savings, no meaningful investments, just maintaining. And the strange part is, from the outside, everything looks fine. Let's take a normal scenario. A 27-year-old professional living in a city like Chicago, London, or Amsterdam. They earn around $70,000 a year. After taxes, that comes down to roughly $4,200 per month. Now, on paper, that should be enough to build something. Not extreme wealth, but at least progress. So where does it actually go? Rent takes about $1,600. A car payment and insurance add another $600. Student loans cost $400. Groceries are around $350. Utilities, phone, and subscriptions come to about $250. That's $3,200 already. What's left is about $1,000. And this is where things become less predictable. This is where life fills the gaps. A few dinners out during the week, maybe $15 here, $30 there. A birthday gift, a short trip with friends, clothes, small upgrades, random online purchases. Nothing extreme, nothing that feels irresponsible in isolation, but by the end of the month, that $1,000 is gone, and sometimes slightly more. So the experience becomes very specific. You're not struggling. Bills are paid on time. You're functioning like a responsible adult, but you're also not getting ahead. Your bank balance resets every month, and over time, that creates a quiet kind of frustration. So the natural conclusion is simple. I need to earn more. Because logically, if $4,200 isn't creating progress, then $5,500 or $6,000 should. And to be fair, that assumption isn't wrong. Higher income does create more opportunity, but only if something else changes with it. Because here's what usually happens next. Income increases, maybe to $85,000. Now you're bringing in around $5,000 per month. And at first, it feels different. There's more breathing room, less stress at the end of the month. But slowly, without much thought, life begins to adjust. The apartment gets upgraded. Not dramatically, just slightly nicer. Maybe closer to work, maybe more space. Now rent is $2,100. The car situation changes. Not a luxury car, just something newer and more reliable. Now total car costs are closer to $850. Spending becomes more relaxed. You don't check prices as often. You say yes more easily. Monthly lifestyle spending rises to $1,200, maybe $1,400. And after a few months, you're in a very familiar place again. Earning more than before, living slightly better than before, but still not building anything meaningful. This is the part that feels confusing because there's no clear mistake, no single bad decision you can point to. Just a series of reasonable upgrades that together cancel out your progress. And this is where most people misunderstand the problem. They think it's about discipline. They assume they're just not trying hard enough to save. But the issue isn't discipline, it's structure. Because your financial life isn't just shaped by how much you earn, it's shaped by how your lifestyle responds to that income. And most people's lifestyle is designed to expand automatically. There's a psychological reason for this. As humans, we don't evaluate progress using numbers. We evaluate it through lifestyle signals, where we live, what we drive, how often we go out, what we can say yes to. If your income increases but your life looks the same, it doesn't feel like progress. It feels like you're standing still. So, without even realizing it, you adjust your life upward. Not to show off, not to impress others, but internally to confirm that you're moving forward. And this is where the trap forms. Because lifestyle upgrades are immediate. You feel them right away. A better apartment, more comfort, less friction in daily life. But financial progress is invisible. Saving an extra $500 a month doesn't feel exciting. Investing consistently doesn't feel like an upgrade. There's no instant reward. So, naturally, your brain prioritizes what feels real. And over time, you build a life that looks better but doesn't function better financially. Now, zoom out. Imagine this pattern continues for 5 years. Income slowly rises from $70K to $85K, maybe even $100K. Each step comes with small lifestyle improvements. Nothing extreme, nothing irresponsible, but also no real gap between income and spending. After 5 years, you're earning more than ever, but your savings haven't grown much. Your fixed expenses are higher. Your lifestyle is more expensive to maintain, and your dependence on your job is exactly the same. This is why so many people feel stuck even as they move forward on paper, because progress in income doesn't automatically translate into progress in position. Now compare that to how financially aware people approach the same situation. They don't reject lifestyle upgrades. They don't avoid spending entirely, but they make one subtle shift. They don't let their lifestyle grow at the same speed as their income. When their income increases, they pause, not to restrict themselves, but to decide intentionally what actually needs to change. Instead of upgrading everything slightly, they upgrade selectively. Maybe they improve their living situation but keep other expenses stable. Or they maintain their current lifestyle and allow the extra income to create space. Because they understand something simple, that space, the difference between what you earn and what you spend, is where all financial progress comes from. Not from earning more alone, not from extreme discipline, but from creating a gap and protecting it over time. And that gap doesn't just represent savings, it represents flexibility, options, the ability to handle unexpected situations without stress, the ability to make decisions without immediate financial pressure. So the real question isn't, is $70,000 enough? Because for many people, it is. The better question is, what is your income actually doing for you? Is it improving your position, or is it just improving your lifestyle? Because those two things often look the same in the short term, but over time, they lead to very different outcomes. Earning $70,000 and feeling stuck isn't a failure. It's usually just a signal that your financial system is quietly working against you. And once you see that clearly, you don't need extreme changes. You just need to stop assuming that more income will fix everything.